All right, thank you, Kylie. Well, BioCrossroads has issued a new report showing Indiana's life sciences companies accessed more than $9 billion in capital in 2020. The Indiana Life Sciences Capital Report shows the funding comes from a variety of sources, including federal research and small business grants, venture capital, IPOs, and mergers and acquisitions. BioCrossroads says life sciences companies also raised over $400 million in capital last year. Well, there is a big problem when it comes to teachers in the classroom in Indiana. There aren't enough of them. Nearly 90% of the state's public school districts report a shortage of teachers. Ivy Tech Community College and Butler University say a new partnership could go a long way in solving or helping to solve that issue. The two schools have established the first transfer agreement for students earning a bachelor's degree in elementary education. And for more, we're pleased to be joined by Butler University Dean of the College of Education, Brooke Kandel-Cisco. Brooke, welcome to the program.
Gary, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this articulation agreement, which is the first for Butler's College of Education with another institution of higher education, Ivy Tech Community College. How did it come about?
Sure. Yeah, this is the first articulation agreement for Butler University, and the College of Education has for several years had dual credit agreements with local high schools where high school students were able to take college level courses while still in high school. So this really was just the next natural step, was to develop a full articulation agreement wherein students could complete their associate's degree at Ivy Tech and then transfer into Butler's College of Education as juniors in our elementary education program.
What are the benefits, as you see, of this program, this articulation agreement from a potential teacher standpoint in terms of cost and access and all those types of things?
Sure. Well, certainly Ivy Tech's reach across the state helps with addressing the rural teacher shortage. So we know that rural districts in particular have a difficult time attracting and retaining educators. So the fact that Ivy Tech is spread across the state allows students to access an associate's degree that then could move into the bachelor's degree. There's also the issue of cost, and of course, pursuing the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree at Ivy Tech through their associate's degree route is a significant reduction in cost that still allows students to end up with a bachelor's in elementary education from Butler University.
Talk about, if you would, Brooke, the teacher shortage has been talked about a lot, but how substantial, how severe it is, especially as you mentioned in rural areas around the state.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, pretty much every district has a difficult time attracting teachers, and we could probably talk for hours about the reasons for the teacher shortage, but more importantly is how we're going to respond to that. So there are some specific licensure areas in which there are shortage. Special education is one of them. But then just generally speaking, we want to create as many access options for young people as well as adults who perhaps have had another career and now want to move into teaching, to get access to a teacher preparation program and a teaching license so they can get out and get in front of students. Yeah,
I know you feel there is a real opportunity with this agreement to help solve a diversity-related inclusion issues related to teachers.
Yeah, so we know that about 90 to 92% of Indiana's teachers identify as white, and that is disproportionate relative to the K-12 student population. So any way that we can open up access, including articulation agreements such as this, we hope is one way to try to attract and retain increasing numbers of teachers of color to serve in our classrooms.
We only have about 30 seconds left, but I know one of the key issues, as you and I talked off camera a moment ago, articulation agreements in and of themselves aren't necessarily the answer. It's the pathways and how they're presented, how they're created, that ultimately that alignment that actually makes the difference.
Sure. And part of Butler's strategic direction, the Butler Beyond strategic direction, is really opening up access to Butler and to bachelor's degrees. And so my hope is that these articulation agreements, this one and the ones that are to come, will really help us develop pipelines and pathways with local high schools to build apprenticeship programs, early college programs, and even programs for adult learners.
Addressing the teacher shortage, a partnership between Butler University and Ivy Tech Community College. Brooke Kandel-Cisco, Dean of the College of Education at Butler. Brooke, thanks very much for the perspective. Look forward to having you go on the show in the future.
All right. Thank you again.
All right.